Hello YouTube, my name is Brad, and in these next few videos I'm going to show you my preparedness system. What you see in front of you here are my 3 preparedness survival bags. On the left, the red bag, that is my extended trauma med kit. In the center, that's my Bugout bag slash survival bag, whatever you want to call it. Basically everything I would want to have if I had to pick up and go. And then along beside that, I have my extended, duration food stores. There's not a lot in there right now. It's kind of a work in progress, and I'm trying to keep the weight down as it will be a bag carried by my younger daughter. Anyways, just to give a little synopsis in the food bag, it's basically just dried foods, dried beans, soup bases, lentils, barley, rice, salts and spices, that sort of thing. Enough to kind of carry us on for 2 weeks, I'm guessing. So that's the food bag. The trauma bag, I was lucky enough to acquire some emergency supplies from the ER here in town when I was recently burned. They gave me a lot of burn treatment, and I've got a lot of sterile dressings, and so I have that, which is nice because that stuff is very expensive to buy. So beyond just having my basic first aid kit within my Bugout bag, I have that extended first aid trauma bag in case of a more serious medical need. But in this series, this video, I'm going to do a deconstruction of my Bugout bag the way I have built it, from the outside in, and you can comment on what you like, what you don't like, what you would do differently. Of course, everybody's Bugout bag is going to be different. It's a very personal choices, and there's some things in here that might be redundant, but I like to put them there just to keep them organized into one place. My Bugout bag is about 26 pounds, which is a little bit heavier than I'd like it to be. However, it does have a few things that I could shave off if I needed to cut weight. I've got a hatchet, machete. I certainly don't need to have both of those things on me at all times. I've got about 3 fixed knives in there, fixed blade knives, which is more than you probably would need. I have one really good one and a couple of lesser quality ones. As well as I have probably an overkill amount of 550 paracord, which doesn't always need to go with you. However, I sometimes look at my Bugout bag as a long-term Bugout bag. Some call it a 72-hour bag, but I feel that 72 hours is not nearly close enough to, if I'm going to pick up and go, I feel like I might just be gone for some time. Anyways, stay tuned. I'll be back in a moment, and we'll do a little deconstruction of the Bugout bag. So my Condor VenturePack, which is my actual bag, I got a lot of reviews and did a lot of research on what to get. It was kind of a toss between this and a 511 24-hour pack. There was a Maxpedition that I was looking at as well, but I thought for the price point, this one seemed to do quite well. And then when I did get it in the mail, I was astounded with the quality. It's very rugged, lots of compartments, lots of excellent MOLLE straps on the outside, and overall good feel, good weight distribution when I put it on my back. It's got the nice padded straps, padded backrests and vents, waist strap, and torso strap as well. So a good comfortable feel, and I like the design. They happen to come in olive drab, which is what I've got here. There's black, there's a kind of a CAD pack camo, as well as a coyote tan. So that's the bag itself. We'll go into some more detail in the components, but I'm just going to kind of give you an overview of the external setup of my bag. Oh, sorry about that, cell phone's going off. So if I sit the bag up sideways here, on the outside I've got a cold steel Magnum Kukri machete, and I've got that lined off with a little bit of paracord, kind of lanyard. Using machetes in the woods, having a lanyard on you is definitely a must-do. When you're whacking away at stuff at full strength, and your hands sweaty or wet, your machete could go flying out. You could lose it or injure somebody in your surrounding area. Next down to that, I've got a general issue military canteen. Picked this up from Heroes Army Surplus store out of Oshawa, Ontario. It's nice. It's got a semi-water resistant nylon sheath. It's insulated with like a synthetic lambskin wool looking thing. Inside is a aluminum canteen cup, which can double as a boiling device over a stove if need be. I don't prefer to cook over aluminum just due to the toxic residues that can sometimes leach, but it is there if you need it, which is nice. On the outside, there's a little side pouch here, which I just stuck a few little waterproofed matches in there. You could put in whatever quick access thing you may want to have in there as well. So that's the left side of the bag. Turning it around to the right side, make sure it stands up. I have the Cold Steel SRK Sanmai 3. That is my all-purpose, survival knife, my fixed blade workhorse, if you will. It is a new acquisition for me. I've dealt with CRKT for a lot of years on a lot of my folding knives, but I didn't really like the fixed blade designs that they had. They have a lot more tactical design. And I was looking for something a little bit more rugged, more bushcraft oriented. So that is a pretty nice knife, I must say. I haven't really put it to a lot of work yet, as it is a new acquisition. But overall, it feels good. I'm going to pull it out real quick and show you. So it's a good sized knife. It sort of resembles the Fallkniven A1. Big, thick blade on that. There's my finger in comparison. It's a very thick blade. Razor sharp, strong, nice rubberized type handle. The only thing I don't like about this knife is it doesn't have any of the jimping on the back for fine work, but I have smaller knives for that, so it's not a big deal. Great knife for batoning, great knife for shelter building, prying, any sort of rugged task you might have, and certainly an excellent self-defense weapon as well. Comes with a nice molded plastic sheath, which I've again attached another braided nylon lanyard to. Clips in there really nice, very secure. There's a button strap as well. I just had it undone at this point, but it's not falling out, which is nice, and then it connects to the MOLLE with the case design that I kind of rigged up myself. And then on the side here, I've got another little fixed blade. It's the CRKT Dragon. It's cheap. It's just like a $40 knife, but it's very sharp, and it's a good secondary knife. And it comes in the nice Kydex sheath, which is quite nice. And I've wrapped that handle in some olive drab paracord just for a better grip. The grip is a pretty cheap plasticky looking handle. I'm not a big fan of that. Okay, and on the outside, I think that's pretty much everything covered. And then on the front, or the rear face pack, as you would call it, I've got a little survival or a camouflage survival bracelet attached to some carabiners. Carabiners come in handy for all sorts of things, whether you're hanging bags, tying up bags, or shelter building, or just needing to clip on additional accessories to your bag. Some additional strapping could be used for lots of different purposes. Again, more carabiners. And then I've attached this here for quick and convenient purposes. This is a Nightcore M20. This is a fantastic 1000 lumens tactical flashlight. Super small, as you can see, but it's made of aircraft aluminum. Super strong, long life battery, and it has 5 stages of light. When I turn it on, you can go brighter, brighter and brighter still, or right down to 1 lumen. 1 lumen, the battery life is insane. It's like 300 hours or something like that. And then I think it goes to 100 lumens, 250 lumens, 500, and 1,000. And in the night, 1,000 lumens is just insane. It lights up trees that are literally 300-400 meters away. Very pleased with this tactical flashlight. It's not cheap. It's about $150, but it's really nice, high quality flashlight. Okay, moving on to the external pouches. I'm going to just do a breakdown of what I've got in all the different pouches. So in this front pouch here, for quick and easy access, I have a nice pair of rugged working gloves. If you're going to be doing any batoning, hatchet work, or machete work, or even just general labor with your hands, building shelters, nice to have a pair of gloves. It's going to protect your skin, help keep your hands comfortable, and if nothing else, if it's cold out, they do act as a little bit of a warm insulating glove as well. What else we got here? Sanitizing wet wipes. Good to have all the time. If you're doing any sort of work outdoors, touching dirty debris, logs, mud, dirt, and you're going to be doing any sort of eating, good to clean up. Washing your hands, it's going to prevent you getting sick. So they're good to have around, just in case. Cash. It's not a lot, a couple $100, but it's good to have just in case. You never know what you might need some emergency cash for if you are having to bug out. So, you know, I'm kind of growing that stash as my budget will allow. I'm also looking to invest in some precious metals as well, gold and silver. Not that I necessarily want to carry them around, they're quite heavy. They could come in handy if for some reason cash becomes something that nobody wants. That might happen in a financial breakdown, society breakdown. This could be worth nothing. It's not even paper, you can't even burn it. You could melt it maybe and make something fun. But anyways, it's a bit of cash. Good to have on you. What else we got in here? Deep down in there. Oh yeah, some dryer lint. Good tinder to have. It's a little bit bulky. I have some other tinder in my kit as well, but this is free and it does work quite well. It's good if you have no pets in the home, but if you have pets, sometimes your dryer lint can get a little bit full of hair, and when you burn it, it stinks, but it still lights. So you can fit a lot of there's enough here to light dozens of fires. So it's nice to have. I keep it wrapped in a taped up Ziploc bag to keep it dry, but that's good to have for lighting fires. Let's see if I got anything else in here. Oh yeah. Keeping it quick and convenient. It's not the best, but it will do in a pinch. It's a two-sided coarse and fine stone and ceramic knife sharpener. A little paracord on there. I've used it a lot. It's not the greatest. It's got set edges, but if it's all you have, it's better than nothing for sure. And it's small, compact, and very light. It weighs a few grams. I think that's it for the front pouch. Moving on to the second outer pouch. It's where I keep a lot of my just trinkets and different things you will definitely want to keep on you and have. It's a nice big pouch. It's got lots of little compartments and it opens up pretty nicely. You can get it down pretty good. And let's see if I can zoom in a little bit better here. Okay, so what we have here is we have a Gerber folding saw. It's not by any means the best. It's a little flimsy, but it is razor sharp and it does do a good job. If you aren't too aggressive, it doesn't bow on you. It's got a nice rubber grip and it's a good size. There are some better ones out there and I am looking to upgrade in time, but for now this one, if you're shelter building or trying to get some logs for firewood, this is a nice tool. It cuts through 3 to 4 inch limbs in a matter of seconds. It's very aggressive, very sharp, but again, it's got a very flimsy blade, so it is prone to bowing and kind of getting caught up. It's got a locking device that is a little less than average. It's a little bit broken, but it still does work. You push in the button and it will close. So good to have. A little folding saw. I've had this forever. It's I don't know what kind of knife it is. Like, I know what kind of knife it is, but I don't know what brand it is. It has no markings, no names, but it's a nice skinning knife. It's got a good edge on it. Nice wooden and brass handle, full tang, pretty nice and thick and strong. It's got a bit of the Bowie type drop on it like this, and a nice grind. It holds an edge not too badly, and a nice solid leather sheath. The only thing I don't like is it doesn't stay in, so it's not a very secure knife, but good to have as a backup fixed blade. It's good and strong, durable, and actually an uncle of mine found this out in the woods while hunting, so he gave it to me when I was younger. I've had it for a long time. I like it. Moving on, I have a little pouch here. I keep a little small roll of paracord in there, 550 olive drab paracord. Good to use for shelter building. It can be disassembled. There's multiple strings inside that can be broken down and used as finer cordage for fishing or binding small tasks, or even sewing if you had to. It would definitely work for that. Nothing in there. Nothing there. Here I have, this is a pretty cool thing. This is an Aurora ferro rod, magnesium ferro rod. It's great for starting fires if you don't have a lighter, or if you've lost your lighter, or if your lighter goes dead, or for some reason your other ignition sources have gotten wet. This will work even if it is wet, but it does have a nice O-ring to keep it dry. It's a nice aluminum. It's got a nice design, and it works just by applying this little blade here to the rod and firmly striking against it, and sparks will shoot off. I don't want to set my couch on fire, but they will set off and light up your tinder very quickly, like the dryer lint. And I've also got some Vaseline soaked cotton balls that work well for that as well. Right beside it, just a little chapstick. Good to have if you're out in the colder weather or in the sun. It's going to help protect your lips. Got some brass snare wire, pen and a Sharpie. They could come in handy at any point if you need to write something down, leave a note, mark something, you have them. Got some more green. This is actually floral craft wire, but it would be great for doing fine work with binding. It could be used as snare wire. It can be used to sew up bags, fixing things like that. And there's lots of it. It's relatively cheap, and it's a good to have. The only thing is it's a little bit heavy, but it's a nice thing to keep on you, I find. In that little same zip-up pouch here, I got a couple of just everyday band-aids, just keeping them handy just in case. You know, you're working with knives, saws, axes, machetes, you're bound to cut yourself from time to time. Just for backup, this is some extremely secured waterproof matches. They're strike anywhere matches that have coated in wax, then wrapped in a saran wrap bag or a Ziploc bag, and then covered with electrical tape. The nice thing with that is the tape could be taken off and used for another application if you needed to. There's about 12-15 matches in there. Just another good source. You can never have enough ignition sources. What else have I got in here? Oh, a Zippo. Actually was wondering where I'd put that. There's no fuel for it. Zippos are not good bug-out bag or survival type lighters unless you always have one fueled and prepared, because they evaporate and dry up very quickly, and they also don't last a long time with fuel. But it's there. If I get it filled up, it's there. Nice thing is it's something you could use for barter if you ever had to. It's nice. Jack Daniels. What else? Just another everyday Bic lighter. Perfect. I keep a couple of them in my bag. Everybody likes to use different things for starting fires, but I always say keep it simple, stupid. These are the best for lighting fires, obviously, as long as they're not too wet. Even if you get them wet, you can blow them dry with your mouth. You can just leave them to dry and they will work again. This one happened to go directly swimming with me last time I was on holidays, and I pulled it out of the pool, leave it sit on my deck for half an hour, and it was able to be used again. So I keep a lot of them. They're cheap. They last quite a long time if you're not you know, using them too often, and they're good to have. That's it for that little side pouch. In the main front pouch here, I keep a 3-in-1 spork thing. Spoon, obviously, fork on the back side, and a little blade there for cutting, although I probably never would use that, but it's there. It's handy. I bought this at a, I don't know, kitchen store somewhere, and I thought it was pretty handy for the kit. Water purification tablets, definitely a must-have in all your bags. It's good to have many different sources of getting clean, fresh water. This is a last-minute or emergency solution because I don't like the taste of chlorine tabs. But if you have no other options, it's going to make your water safe to drink in a pinch. So I keep a package of those. These aren't too expensive, $12-15 for a pack, and that's good to keep in your bag. Next in here I have some Afterbite. Okay, obviously self-explanatory. Bugs bite you, they bother you, drives up your stress levels. Have some Afterbite, help give yourself some relief. Obviously the preventative to that, some good bug spray. You want something with at least 30% DEET. That's going to keep away the mosquitoes, black flies and such, but it's also going to help repel ticks. Obviously we know ticks are a bad sort of thing to have on you, especially if they're deer ticks carrying Lyme disease. Definitely something you do not want to get, most definitely in a, you know, society breakdown when there's no extended health care available to you. Getting Lyme disease could cripple you and your family. So a good bug spray, and keep lots of it on you and use it. I haven't yet got a multi-tool. I'm still sourcing out which one I'd like best, but until I do, I figured, you know, most multi-tools, the best part of them is the plier application, so I do keep a cheap pair of needle nose pliers that can come in extremely handy for lots of different fine tasks, and these ones are spring-loaded, so they're nice and convenient to use. Keep them well oiled and maintained. These ones are a little rusty, but they are now cleaned up with some WD-40 so that they're not going to continue to rust. Reaching down deep here, I've got this little Primus bag that belongs to an old stove of mine. I actually can't remember what I've got in here. Just a little fishing kit. So I keep a couple hooks with some leader lines on them. There's about 6 of them in there. You could tie those to paracord, attach that to a stick. It's basic, but it beats having a whole fishing rod assembly and a whole tackle box. It's basic, but you could attach a little piece of bait, a little food to it, and it would work in a pinch. Also inside this bag, a couple of floats, bobbers. That'll help make the job a little easier when you're just working with a basic line and hook. So. And then I have this little kind of keyring attachment that they put on here, of which I've got a little multi-tool that is designed for fixing some of my pocket knives. It's got the hex bit drivers on there for the real fine screws on your knife, or my knife anyways. I've got a CRKT Fire Spark that I have as my EDC. The nuts and bolts assembly on that knife can tend to loosen from time to time under heavy use. So this keeps it all tightened up, and as well there's a little bottle opener on the back, a couple of different screw and bolt wrenches, and there's also an LED beacon on the tip of it. It's not terribly bright, but every little light helps. Also attached to that I've got another little LED sort of fob, and I keep that kind of hanging there so that if I have to access this portion of my backpack in the night to get something, I can quickly see without pulling out my main light. So that's nice to have. I think that's it for this pouch. It is. So here on the top of the bag we have a small little fleece lined pouch, good for sunglasses, cell phones, electronics, that sort of thing. I keep my cell phone sort of as part of my EDC. So right now inside of here, for quick and easy access, I have an inhaler. I have asthma, so that's kind of important for me. I keep a couple of fluorescent glow sticks, good to attach to your bag in the night or for your kit, and a rescue whistle. You never know when you might need that. I can whistle pretty loud, but this can whistle even louder. Certainly it can also whistle underwater. This is a Fox 40. It's a good, powerful whistle. So that's a good little, nice fleece-lined pouch, good for electronics, glasses, sunglasses, that sort of thing. Okay, moving on to the kind of next little storage area. It's kind of just like a little half-lap sort of stuff-in area where you could stuff a coat, a sweater. It kind of lies between the main pouch and the front pouch. So if we disconnect the side snaps here, we can open that up a bit. And inside of here, I keep a nice boonie hat. It's good to keep the sun off you, help keep the sweat from rolling in your eyes. It's nothing fancy, it's not, you know, super high quality or anything. It's just a nice, you know, green boonie hat. Works. Got a strap, keep the wind from blowing it off your head. Not that I've had much problem with hats blowing off my head, but you never know. In here as well, I really like this. It's so small and sharp and functional. It's a Gerber backpacks axe, little hatchet. Nice and compact. As you can see, it's just barely bigger than my hand. But it's got a nice little edge on it, and it's great for just hacking off little 1 to 2 inch limbs or doing any notch work. You know, you're not going to want to try to split large chunks of wood with it. You know, maybe save that for the batoning with the knife. But this is a very handy tool. It's got a back on it, so you could use it as a hammer or mallet. Certainly a great tool. Really strong. I've had this thing for well over 10, 12 years, and I've used it just a ton. Love this thing. So good to have. Nice little axe or hatchet. What else we got in here? Oh, just keep the waistband strap in there for the bag. So I don't use it all the time, but if I was going on a long venture, I might want to have it. It's got some nice MOLLE strapping on the outside, so you can attach more gadgets and gizmos. And I think that's all I've got in there. Yeah. Okay, moving on to the last and main component of the Bugout bag is its main component. I don't love the way that this bag opens from this point. It's only sort of a half open, but it does the trick. So in here, I've got an assortment of things. I've got a emergency rain poncho. It's pretty simple. It's just like a plastic bag, but it's better than nothing. You can throw it over yourself if you get caught in a torrential rain. Nice to have. It's light, weighs nothing. Could be used as an impromptu shelter if you really had to. I have my basic first aid kit. I keep a lot of different things in here. I'll go into first aid in another day, but I keep, you know, scissors, tape, super glue, bandages, ointments, creams, tick removers, gauze pads, pretty much anything you could want for basic first aid. So it's all there. Nice bright kit, well marked, easy to access, and I keep it at the top of my kit for that reason. This is a bit of a bulky thing to have. It's a little heavy, but it is crucial to me. It's an 8x10 tarp. This will act as your shelter if you need a quick shelter. You could drop a ridge line and put this over top, kind of tent style. You could make a lean-to. Definitely important to have in any sort of survival situation is some sort of quick shelter. This weighs about a pound and a half, but I've got it rolled as tight as I can so it takes up as minimal amount of room as it can. No need to explain. Toilet paper. Keep some. If nothing else, you can use it for tinder to start a fire, but certainly we know we're going to need toilet paper out there. It's not a lot, it's one roll, but hopefully it's enough to get you by. Just a good heavy fleece sweater. It's a zip up pullover type thing. It's extremely warm. It's a little big and bulky, but you know, when you're out there, even on a, you know, late summer night, it's going to get cold at night. You're going to wish you had something, so it works. Certainly in the spring, fall, you're going to need it. Even if you've got a jacket with you, you're going to add to it in the night. It's going to help keep you warm. A few other just random things. I got a just random can of tuna. Just stuck that in there, I guess. It's a spicy Thai. It's tasty. It's a little bit, I don't know, a little ritzy for a Bugout bag, I think. But Primus propane butane stove is a really good way to quickly boil some water if you had to, excuse me, get some water safe to drink, or if you just couldn't get a fire started, say everything's soaking wet and you're just so tired and you just wanted to get something hot, you have this. It's really powerful, but it burns fuel pretty quickly, but you can boil like a liter of water in a minute or two. Just turns on, and it's got multiple settings. Also good at, you know, keep you warm in an emergency as well. Fuel canisters are rather expensive, so I don't use this unless I really need to. Got a Cliff Bar that belongs kind of up here. I keep a few Cliff Bars. There's enough there for, you know, 4 or 5 meals. That's good to have. It's going to keep you alive. And then I've got a New Frontier life straw type thing. You can stick this right into a dirty puddle and drink up to 10,000 gallons of water. I haven't tried this out yet. I kind of want to keep it in the package, but I should figure out exactly how it works. But you can attach it to a water bottle, so you could fill your water bottle up in the lake, river, stream, puddle, whatever, and drink, and know that you're going to get a safe drinking water. It's going to filter out all your bacterias, all your sort of viruses, bacterias, all that sort of thing. So it's good to have. And the only thing I left out was on the back side. I have a pretty lightweight, low temp, or not very low temperature, summer sleeping bag. It's only good till about 7 degrees Celsius, but it is something. It's small, it's compact, and it's nice to have. That is my deconstructed Bugout bag. Stay tuned for my future videos where I do a deconstructed trauma bag, as well as my deconstructed food bag, and in some time coming I will also have a sundry bag with all your hygiene items that you're going to need for an extended period of time, should you ever need one. But until then, thanks very much for watching. I hope you found this video somewhat educational and perhaps enlightening. And if you have any comments, questions, or suggestions even, feel free to leave them down in the comments below. I'm not an expert. I'm an outdoorsman, self-proclaimed bushcrafter, if you will, and this is my Bugout bag. Thanks very much, YouTube. Take it easy.